right, welcome in. Instant reaction as the Nuggets beat the Clippers 112-110 in overtime. I'll be doing a lot of these. As you know, I do it in the NFL season. I do it in the NBA playoffs. And sometimes after, big events, I do instant reactions. So this is, it's funny. My wife's like in Chicago, and she's like, what are you doing this weekend? And I said, sitting on the couch watching NBA playoff basketball. And, I made my predictions on my social media. I had the Clippers winning this in 6 or 7. I just thought they were a much better defensive team. And I thought Ty Lue is worth a win in the series. This is a go-either-way game. In fact, for the first 3 quarters, I really thought the Clippers had momentum, playing very well. And then Denver's a very good come-from-behind team, a very good clutch team. They've got a lot of veterans. And there's so many ways to talk about this game. First of all, I get kind of tired of fans complaining about officiating. It's why I don't like watching games with fans, is that it's kind of a you problem if you don't understand that NBA playoff basketball is officiated differently and has been since I started watching in 1972. They want the league wants, the coaches want, the players to decide games. They're going to allow more contact. They're just going to. You're not going to get the regular season whistle. And I think NBA playoff basketball is very, very hard to officiate. It's like a pass interference judgment call on every possession because, A, there's tons of intensity, and nobody wants, the league, the players, the fans, a foul called on every play. You let players play. And that's why outside of the COVID year, the COVID bubble, when all the old married players were depressed and played like crap, veteran NBA teams win in the playoffs. That's why I don't think OKC is going to win. I think they're too young. I thought Cleveland in the last 2 years was really good, but too young in spots. And what made this game tough to officiate, Denver and the Clippers that's a veteran team. I mean, Zubac's been in the league 10 years, and Kawhi Leonard and James Harden and Batum. And then you've got on the other side Jamal Murray. Aaron Gordon's been around more than a few minutes. Jokic has been around. Sorry to interrupt this great video, but please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you. Now back to the video. So you've got these veteran players who are physical. They've been in NBA weight rooms on weight programs for 10 years, and they're gonna bang around in there. Those rebounds, there's all sorts of contact. You don't want, for the aesthetics of the league, to be at the free throw line for the last 5 minutes of the game. And so they let more contact go. Kawhi Leonard was complaining about a non-call on an inbounds play. I watched it, and I'm like, no, in the playoffs, you're not calling that. You're just not calling that. So you have to deal with it. That's up to you as a coaching staff and players. You've got to deal with it. I mean, I picked the Clippers in that series. Kawhi can complain. You're not getting that call in the playoffs. Very infrequently. So I think it's very hard to officiate it. And these are veteran teams with guys who have been around the block, and they're going to push the refs. They're going to be more physical than they're going to be in the regular season because they know they're going to be allowed to be more physical. So everybody likes to bang on officials. These playoff games, it's like a pass interference call. You could call so many more than you do in the NFL. But you got to let players play. You're going to let hand-to-hand combat go, especially in big playoff games in the NFL. And so my other take is Russell Westbrook. I mean, you get the full Russell Westbrook experience when he plays. Listen, he gives you incredible energy. He's one of the best rebounding guards in a long time. He's a physical player. I mean, sometimes situationally, circumstantially, he's got blinders on, doesn't have a ton of self-awareness. I love that he hit that big 3. There was a reason he was wide open. You're going to give him that. But Westbrook was key, rebounding, extending possessions, but you get the full Westbrook experience. That he's going 1,000 miles an hour, and sometimes you just want him to downshift, put on the governor, slow down, and that's just not the way he plays. And then you make a decision when you put Westbrook in late in games, but I'll tell you this, he's a veteran, and he plays with great energy, and I'll take him. And that was one of the things that, Malone wanted Westbrook on the floor reportedly. And, the GM during the regular season wanted to play some younger guys. It's like, no, this is playoff basketball. I want the old, strong, physical veterans on the floor. And Westbrook made several huge, huge plays. Forget just the three-pointer, rebounds, extra possessions, hustle plays. He was great. And I've been a critic of Westbrook forever. And, he's now kind of a bounce around the league guy, but hey man, you can't deny how valuable he was. And now he's a much different player than Gordon, but he can extend possessions. He's just got an energy. Gordon's the same way. Gordon's got great length, but just extends opportunities, and you're just looking for extra possessions. And again, Denver's a very good team in these clutch moments. The other thing is I watched this game. I mean, I wrote down about 6 different moments in the last 5 minutes alone. In that, it's a pretty easy series to look at. I mean, it's going to be really close. It's going to be offensively, it's going to be Jamal Murray and Jokic. That's going to be it for the Nuggets. If they hit big baskets, Jamal Murray hit a big shot late, it goes their way. It's going to be Leonard, Kawhi Leonard, and Harden taking the big shots for the Clippers late. And so you kind of know what you're getting. All these guys have been around the block. I do think the Clippers are a much better defensive team, and I think that will, over the course of a series, pay dividends. But that was a fantastic first game of a playoff series. And, I was thinking about watching it, how it's so much, I love playoff basketball, is that it's a different sport. Like you have to, in hockey or in football, you got to play hard all the time or you'll get hurt. In baseball, it's so much about pitcher and hitter, and, guys don't want to be embarrassed. So, you certainly manage differently in postseason baseball. But in NBA basketball, it's a long season. There's a lot of wear and tear on your body. Most people are not 6'9" tall. That's a lot. I mean, life's harder at 6'9". You can make a lot of money if you're a pro basketball player, but it beats up your body. I've seen so many older former NBA guys, 6'10", 6'11". They're hobbling, man. It's rough on the body. And so there are times guys play at a different level, and you saw it in the second half of this game. I mean, that every possession was huge. I thought it was interesting that of all these great veteran players, it was Christian Brown from Kansas, the young guy who made that save as the ball was going out of bounds, and then he came back and hit a huge jumper. I thought that was, as important as any 2 possessions late in the game. But I think what you're watching is, in this series, these are going to be close games with a lot of veterans. They're going to be physical games. You're going to get some complaining about physicality. You're Denver, you're going to get that Kawhi non-call at home. You probably don't get it in Los Angeles. It is a you problem at this point if you can't figure that out. All right? Like, that's the way NBA playoff basketball works. It was just so much fun to watch. The NBA 82-game grind is done. Now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs. Love them. They're here. Time for drama, clutch moments, Steph Curry, LeBron, jaw-dropping plays. I can't wait. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. They're the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Playing games all the way to the finals. Now's the time to back your favorite players and teams as they chase glory. So all season long, DraftKings has been the go-to spot for NBA player props. That doesn't stop now. If you want to make your playoff experience even more intense, try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30, 40? Who knows? Or more. It's your call. If you're ready to place your first bet, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Takes 90 seconds. Lock in your bets, and let's make the playoffs unforgettable. Here's something special for first-timers. DraftKings customers that are new, bet $5. That's it, $5, and get 200 in bonus bets instantly. Just make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download their Sportsbook app. Takes 90 seconds. The code's Colin, C-O-L-I-N. That is code Colin. New customers get $200 in bonus bets. Betting just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Jokic is a fascinating player. I thought he played better defense in the second half. In the first half, I watched Harden fly by him about 4 times. He's the second best center I've ever seen play in terms of overall skill. The best is Kareem. And he loves basketball. I think one of the things that happens in the NBA now, the athletes are better than ever. There's no hand checking. And if you're a big, he uses his size to his advantage offensively, and sometimes his size is a disadvantage defensively. But I do think he is situationally, he can be an okay defender. He's just so big. And I think, in the end of the game, in the last 10 possessions, I thought he made a good effort. In the first half, it's a long basketball game, and he's handling the ball so often on the offensive end. It's defense's work, defense's effort, offense's skill. And so what you watched in the last 5 minutes of this game, everybody was all in defensively. And again, I circle back to these are hard games to officiate. You're going to get those little go either way calls maybe at home. You're not going to get them on the road. And in the end, all these extra possessions for Denver, Westbrook grabbing a rebound, Gordon, Jokic keeping balls alive. You just get extra possessions. That is the key. That's why I like Houston to beat Golden State. I think they're going to get so many extra possessions because they're a much bigger, longer, athletic team that I think Houston is just going to get more possessions. And in playoff basketball, that is so crucial. But this was about as entertaining as a game one can be. I just enjoyed the hell out of it. And, my other takeaway is Kawhi Leonard is such an all-time unique player. I mean, he's literally nonverbal. He's really, really good. But I think, like, when you ask him to be sort of the leader, it's weird. When you ask him to just be great, like in Toronto, he's fantastic. San Antonio wanted him to be more of a leader as all the, the legends aged. And with the Clippers, Ty Lue, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Batum, Zubats, like you got a lot of guys who have been around. They played so well late in the season, and I do think they'll rebound. I think game 2 is going to be fantastic as well. I think eventually over the course of this series, coaching and defense, and I know the NBA is an offensive league, but I just like the Clippers coaching and defense, and I think it may go 7, but I think the Clippers style will work over time. I just think over the course of 7 games, I give them a very slight edge. Now, I picked the Pacers to beat the Bucks. They blew them out in game 1. I think Indiana's better, younger and better. I think the 2 best series, one of them is this one. The other one will be the Dubs and Rockets. So, and in both, with this one, this is an old series. These are old veteran players. In the Warriors and the Rockets, young team, old team. I almost always take the older team. But Golden State is redefining old. I mean, everybody feels like, all their big buckets, Draymond, Butler, and Steph are all mid-30s. That's too old. And they, down the stretch, they looked too old. And now that Kuminga's, in and out of the rotation, DNPs, I don't think they can beat Houston over 6 or 7 games. But I hope you enjoyed game 1. I got all my notes here. It is Westbrook can drive you crazy. But, God, I have 6 different times here I write Westbrook in my notes. And I only have Jokic, a couple of them late. I mean, Westbrook was just that energy. When he went to UCLA and came into the league, nobody quite knew what to do with him. Is he a point guard? He's not a good enough shooter to be a 2. Energy. I mean, if you never seen Westbrook play and somebody said, what's he like? You'd say, well, for a guard, he's not a very good shooter. But physical, rebounding, production, hustle, energy. When Russell Westbrook's on the floor, he pops. He can be the smallest guy on the floor, and you can see him. I mean, he is. I always felt like that was my knock, on Jason Tatum. Sometimes I'm like, is Tatum on the floor? Like, aggressive wins, and aggressive is important. Westbrook, there's an argument, is as aggressive as any player under 6'4" in league history. I mean, he is a street fighter out there. He is every possession, and sometimes it's his undoing. But he was really, really key. He'll drive you nuts, but you got to be fair. Westbrook was essential in the Nuggets winning this puppy.